Hey, what's going on? Joey here, and on today's episode, we're going to reveal who's under the mask of the Kangaroo. That's right, we're going to go through the pitch correct audio and all the clues, and you guys have been fighting each other in the comments section, so this is going to be a good video. Before we do this, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Let's get started. Now, if you're new to the YouTube channel, hi, how are you? Welcome. My name is Joey. I'm an executive audio producer here in New York City, where it's my job every single day to go out and provide audio to my clients. And when that audio sounds bad, maybe it's a high frequency, maybe it's a little muffled, maybe it sounds like an alien, something weird like that. It's my job to make it sound good, whether it's taking up the frequency, maybe pitch correcting something or slowing something down, and that's where the Masked Singer comes in. Every single week, we get brand new clues from the Masked Singer for our favorite contestants, and in those clues is the celebrity talking to us, giving us clues about themselves, but Fox is smart. They said, we can't let them speak in their real voices, because if they do, people are gonna recognize them. So what do? They speed up their voices and pitch it up so that you don't know the voice. You don't know it, you don't understand it. Well, doing what I do, I figured I could slow it down and pitch correct it so that we can hear the real celebrity voice. Now that, plus all of the clues that we have, we can determine who is under the mask. And right now, we're gonna do that with the Kangaroo. Now before we get started, I know you guys have a lot of great questions you wanna go ahead and ask me. When you write them in the comment section or the live chat, sometimes it goes by so quickly, I don't get a chance to see it. I mean, we get hundreds of comments every single video. So if you get a good question, you can go ahead and send it to me on Instagram at Joey Contino. It's gonna show up down here. And I'll be glad to answer your question. I will answer your question if you send it on there. Also, make sure you stay to the end of the video because we're gonna talk about the contest that we have going on. But right now, let's dive right into the clues. We're gonna read all the clues first, then go into pitch correct, and then go straight into revealing who we think it is. Now, there are a ton of clues because we had the Kangaroo for 3 episodes so far. If you watch this past I guess really, we don't see this person again until week 9 or 10? I think it's week 10, something like that. Because she is in the top tier up here. She's right there, Ms. Kangaroo. So right now we get 3 episodes of clues, and they gave us a lot of clues, starting with episode 1. Now, if you're like me, I type up all of my clues. I have it here on my computer. And as I said before, we have a ton of them, so let's read through them. From the first episode, she says, like most of you watching, I am a survivor. We see a cardboard sign on a pole that reads Outback as she wanders through the dusty terrain. She says that she recently lost a person who held their family's heart together. And then by her own admission, she found herself in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. We see 2 paparazzis taking tons of photos of her. She says, I'm here to do what kangaroos do best, and that is bounce back. We see a small gramophone in a tree. She says, I have to fight for my family and show them that bullies never win. She said that I'm beyond terrified. I've never done anything like this before, but I'm not about to lose a chance to realize a dream I've always had. So someone who's never sang before, but they're giving it their first try. Then her last clue was when she got done her performance and was talking to the panel. She says that her greatest fear is being vulnerable, but in this costume, she feels like she's got her superpowers back. Next clues were from episode 2. We see a kangaroo sign that says Kangaroo Court, KK, which some of us think it means something. She says that she's keeping it 100, and that recently she's been watching her life from the sidelines. It's scary putting herself back in the spotlight again. So someone who recently went through some bad times, kind of hid for a little bit, now she's finally coming back. She says, sometimes it feels like everyone's against me, but I know that I just need to have courage and get back in the game. We see some cosmetics and makeup on a bench. The next shot's her playing basketball with a bunch of men in black, wearing red jerseys with the number 23 on them. One of the people playing basketball has the name DJ on the back, D-E-E-J-A-Y, which could either mean a disc jockey or could mean someone's name, DJ. We then see her kick someone in the face, and a blue cartoon, like a Twitter logo, kind of flies away. So someone who has a strong online presence. She says that she needs to be a role model for her little Roo, and that this is her time to fight back, and there's no way she's going home now. Now, after her performance, she tells the judges that she was voted most likely to appear on a list with Seal and Mike Tyson. Kind of interesting. Now, the next clues are from episode 3. Not too many, maybe like 6 big ones out of that episode. She introduces her little brother, who is just wearing a costume with a potted head. Still kind of weird how they're introducing the family members, but hey, it is what it is. The younger brother says, the Kangaroo is my older sister, but only by 1 year. But honestly, I've always looked up to her. He says that she's been a bit of a drama queen in her teenage years. Now, where her brother is, we see a model airplane and a microphone boom, which indicates this person has been on TV, and maybe the model airplane means this person is a model. He said when tragedy struck our family, she was the glue that held us together, and since then, we've only gotten closer. And the last clue, which I think is probably the biggest clue out of all of them, she said when she was reading her Valentine's Day card, she said to Leah, who was a guest on the show that day, we have sat at the same table and your courage has inspired me. So those are all the main clues. There are a couple other ones, but some of them are just repetitive. But those are the main ones. Now, just going through the clues, one person did jump in my mind. I want to see if you agree with me or not. But first, let's go ahead and listen to the pitch correct audio. Now, before, I used to pitch correct the clue packages. But someone had suggested to me to go ahead and pitch correct the celebrities talking to the panelists because, and this does make sense, when they're talking to the panelists, it has to be done in real time, which means the processing on their voice has to be instantaneous. Now, there's not many programs that you can run it through instantaneously. So it has to be something that you could go ahead and do fairly quickly, which made me believe it would be easier to pitch correct, and I was right. Here's the original audio that Fox gave us.
I was voted most likely to appear on a list with Seal and Mike Tyson. And I might have been.
Now I slowed it down and pitch corrected it. This is what I got.
I was voted most likely to appear on a list with Seal and Mike Tyson. And I might have been.
Yeah, that voice is pretty crystal clear. I'm actually kind of proud of that one. We've been doing that for all the celebrities. Maybe we'll put the audio at the end of this video for all the pitch correct. But it sounds spot on. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, but who do you think that is? Well, I know this is not a very popular guess, and you guys might be upset by it, but don't put it down because we are going to go through all the clues in a second. But I really do think it's Jordyn Woods. Just listen to an interview clip of her not too long ago. Just listen to her voice.
You know, the support from everyone is amazing, and I'm sure if there's any advice or anything that I need, there's a phone call away.
The way she talks, her tone, her pitch, that seems to match up with the person talking under the kangaroo costume. Now, if you don't agree, let's go through the clues. We do have a lot of clues to go through, just like we went through that top list. We're going to go through and answer all of them right now, starting with episode 1. The first one where she talks about being a survivor, well, she actually, let me quote her, because it makes more sense with the quote. Like most of you watching, I am a survivor. So, a survivor could refer to many different things. One thing that most of you watching could have happened in your life is that you could have been bullied. To me, when she talks about most of you, I can't imagine any other thing that a majority of us would have gone through in our life. Bullying seems to be one of them, and Jordyn Woods has been very much bullied in this past couple months. A year ago, where she had that issue with Khloe Kardashian's ex-husband, Tristan. After that, because obviously you don't mess with the Kardashians, and when you do, you get everyone attacking you. Well, she got attacked very badly online. I mean, everyone was attacking her on social media, in public. It got really bad. She was bullied, and so she ran away from the spotlight. And she's a survivor from that bullying, and that's why I keep going with bullying, because that's something we can all relate to. We've all been bullied. Heck, I get bullied. Even to today, I get bullied. So it is something we all can relate to. The next clue was the cardboard cutout that read Outback, and she wandered through the dusty terrain. She used to live in Kylie Kardashian's backyard. So I feel like that is like, I live outback, in the outback. I know it's a little stretch, but I'm pretty sure that's what that means. Then she talked about having a recent tragedy in her family. They lost someone, and she found herself in the spotlight for the wrong reason. Well, back in 2017, unfortunately, she lost her father, John. And then on top of that, last year, she was thrown into the spotlight after it was revealed that Khloe Kardashian's ex-husband Tristan and her kind of had a thing going on, and that really blew up the internet, like I said before. So she was thrown into the spotlight for a very bad reason. And because of that, she's no longer best friends with Kylie. After that, we saw two paparazzis taking out their cameras and taking pictures of her. Well, she is a model, been a model since 2007, I believe. Then after that, she says, I'm here to do what kangaroos do best, and that's bounce back. Well, she's bouncing back from being in the spotlight for the wrong reasons. We see a small gramophone in the tree, which a lot of you guys keep thinking it's a Grammy. But if it was a Grammy, it would have been a Grammy. We do know that there's not too many well-known singers left, because when it came to Nick Cannon's list of how many Grammy nominations and so on and so forth, majority of them were taken up between Lil Wayne, Shaka Khan, and Dionne Warwick. So I'm assuming it's a gramophone, and for those who don't know, her father was a sound engineer, an audio engineer, like me. No, sound engineer is a little bit different than audio engineer. I know they sound similar, but they're different. I promise you they are. Then she says, I have to fight for my family and show them that bullies never win. Once again, going back to our first clue, she was bullied, and we also found out that, unfortunately, her brother and her sister got bullied for the whole incident too. Reading online, it says that Jordyn noted that after the scandal, her little sister couldn't go to school and one of her brothers couldn't work thanks to the negativity and the backlash surrounding her. It's kind of sad that that happened. Why would you attack the family members of someone like that? But unfortunately, that's the world of social media. The next clue, she says that she's beyond terrified. She's never done anything like this before, but she's not about to lose her chance to realize her dream that she's always had. Well, she never was a singer. She's never sang before. If you go online, there's one video from September of 2018 of her and Kylie singing in a car, but you can barely make it out. And so, she's never done this before? Yeah, she really hasn't. Now, those are all the clues from episode 1. Time for episode 2. We saw a sign that said Kangaroo Court. A lot of you guys have been saying that obviously all those K's have to lead to it being a Kardashian thing. Keeping up with the Kardashians, KK. And I kind of agree with that. Do you agree with that? It's kind of a stretch, but it does make sense when it comes to Jordyn Woods. After that, we saw the cosmetics and the makeup on the bench. Well, she did do a collaboration with Kylie Cosmetics. Obviously, it was her best friend. Continuing on, we see, and this is a really interesting clue. I want to see if you agree with this. We see her playing basketball with a bunch of guys wearing the number 23, and one person actually had DJ written on their back. Those basketball players were wearing red jerseys with the number 23, and that is Michael Jordan's number. Now, taking that, I'm saying that Michael Jordyn Woods, we kind of have a connection there. And then with the DJ on the back, she did have a short stint where she was a DJ. Though at the same time, I feel like anyone could say that they've been a DJ. But the biggest clue that stood out to me was the number 23, because she has a tattoo on the back of her neck here in Roman numerals, 23, which actually kind of funny, is that her brother tattooed that for her. I don't know if you knew that. After that, she says, I'm feeling more confident and I'm determined to make the most out of this fresh start. It's actually, after all this scandal, she, of course, got very negative in her life. And so she tried turning herself around. She changed a lot of her things online to be more positive image. We see that she pretty much wrote over her Twitter and Instagram that, and I'm going to quote her, she says, loving yourself and loving your body is on point. So she now has this new positive vibe coming off of her. So she really is taking a new fresh start with her life. After that, she kicks somebody in the head, and then we see what looks like to be the Twitter bird flying away. She has a big following, not only on Twitter, but also on Instagram and Facebook. Afterwards, she says she needs to be a positive role model for her little Rue. A lot of you guys thought that meant child. No, it definitely doesn't mean child, even though a little Rue is a good nickname for someone, but she has a younger brother, and so that's who she's talking about right there. A brother who's a year younger. It's important for later on. And the last clue where she talked about she would be on a list with Seal and Mike Tyson, there's actually two connections there. One is that for most of her life, she had a gap in between her teeth until last year when she finally got it fixed. And that's one list because Seal and Mike Tyson both have that. And the second list is that they're both. All three of them are vegetarians. Many people get the gap in the tooth thing, but no one gets the vegetarian thing. Now, the last set of clues are from episode 3, and I'm sorry that this video is taking long, but I really sat down and went through all these clues because you guys really could not decide who it was. Now, the last clues come from episode 3, where she introduces her younger brother, who is Jordyn Woods. He is only a little more than a year younger than her, and that's actually the next clue. He said the kangaroo is my older sister only by 1 year. So there you go right there. He says that she was a bit of a drama queen in her teenage years. Well, we do know that. We saw it on TV and on social media. Then we go ahead and we see a model airplane and then a microphone boom. Well, microphone boom refers to her always being, either being in front of a camera for photos or videos or on TV. And then the model, I believe, goes with her being a model. Again, he brought up the tragedy, which is, of course, losing their father. And then he goes on to say, her grace under pressure and the ability to rise above the haters is always something I admired. Once again, she has a lot of bullies, and she is overcoming that with her positive image. And the last clue, which really was like the nail in the coffin to me, is that she, on the Valentine's Day episode, looked at Leah and said, you and I once sat at the same table. Now you're saying to yourself, well, they never really sat down together. I know, you Google it. No, but there is one connection there. Jada Smith has a talk show called Red Table Talk. And Jordyn did make an appearance on there, and so did Leah, not at the same time, but they did both sit at that table at one time. So they did sit on the same table. So yeah, those are all of our clues and our guesses on who we think the kangaroo is. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comment section. Now, I do know that in the comment section, you're probably going to start yelling at me, hey, Joey, it's Jordyn Sparks. What are you saying? I just wanted to point something out. Jordyn Sparks is extremely talented. She has an impeccable voice and a vocal range that is incredible. I mean, just listen to Jordyn Sparks singing.
I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna feel the heat with somebody.
Beautiful, right? Now listen to the kangaroo sing.
And I'm giving it my all. I'm not the girl you're taking home.
That tone sounds different. Jordyn Sparks can really modulate her voice very well. The kangaroo, not as much. So I feel like for you to say that it's Jordyn Sparks is kind of like an insult to Jordyn Sparks. I mean, you know what I'm getting at. But besides that, the only thing I want to point out is that what tragedy has Jordyn Sparks gone through recently? What tragedy? They're making this seem that, the kangaroo has been bullied a lot and they've gone through this horrible tragedy, a tragedy that her brother has to deal with every day. The only thing that Jordyn Sparks has gone through was back in 2014, the whole incident with Jason Derulo. And that didn't affect her family, it just affected herself. So I really don't believe it's Jordyn Sparks at all. But let me know what you think in the comments section. I do want to play the rest of the pitch correct audio for you guys for the other contestants on the show. After I play that pitch correct audio, we will talk about the contest. Here's the audio.
Well, my favorite subject was actually PE. That's gym for those that don't know. That's right. The real thing I love about it was the fact that it keeps me in shape so I can bust these dance moves and make the ladies go crazy. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, for me, no doubt, was art. It has gotten me through some of the toughest times of my life, and I've had quite a few. And tonight, even though I forgot half the lyrics, I was having the time of my life, forgetting about the troubles, having a good time.
My favorite subject was English. I am such a bookworm, and I used to write my own science fiction books and sell them for quarters.
Being here feels like such an opportunity to break out of my shell. People have always expected me to act a certain way.
That really tests me. Well, I want to rebel from all that. You can punish me all you like for being myself. But if I want to sing a love song, I'm gonna sing a love song.
Look who's still here. Shocked? Me too. I knew going into this competition I was never going to be the best singer. But I wasn't going to let that stop me. I've always known how to work a crowd, and that's been my strategy here all along.
Now feel free to comment below who you think they are. Make a list, White Tiger this person, Turtle this person, so on and so forth. Now if you made it this far, gosh, we're like 20 minutes into this video. First of all, thank you for making it this far. Right now we'll talk about the contest going on my contest, which I think is something fun for you to do, I want you guys to either draw or make me the Golden Mask Trophy. And then send it to me via Instagram at Joey Contino. Whoosh. And you'll have until March 20th to do that. So as long as you're subscribed and you do that before March 20th, you'll be put in the running to win some of our pins. We designed pins for this channel. This is what they look like. So you have just a little under a month to take care of that. But I want to thank you for joining me. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. And if you made it to the end of the video, congratulations. This video wound up being like a half an hour long, and I'm sorry. But there was a lot of things I wanted to get through. I always like to leave you guys with a question at the end of the video to answer in the comment section. And my question for you is this. If an electric train is moving at 25 miles per hour north, and southwest there was wind traveling at 17 miles per hour, which direction was the smoke going in? Comment that below. I'm Joey. I'll see you later. Bye.